It's now 5:30 on Friday, November 23rd. I made reference a number of times to the books that I'm working on. Um, I not to give it all away, but I'm gonna read portions of it. People think that I do nothing while I'm in here in the store, all hours of the night. I'm going to read portions of what I have written. This is going to be off and on, but I'm just going to read small pieces to you, just to give just a little bit of insight into what it is. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to do that. So this video is going to start and stop. So bear with me. It's going to be a long video. Whether you make it all the way through or not, I don't know. If you do, awesome. I mean, if you're interested in at all, that's awesome. So give me a minute. Hi. This is the same video, so I don't have to say date and time. It's just a little later than when I hit pause. Anyway, a lot of you know. Well, not a lot of you. People that I've been acquainted with over the last little while. They know that I've been working on things and writing things for a while. So some of this is not new to some of you. However, it's been shelved as a result of dedication to what I'm doing here, and putting it all on hold. So I'm gonna start at the beginning of what I was writing a while ago. It's scattered. Keep that in mind. I started writing something a long time ago about it's called "What This Homeless Man Wants." It's because some people think that all homeless people want your spare change. They want to get drunk. They want to get high. They want to steal. They want a free life. They want this and that. I'm here to tell you that's not true. Not everybody wants that. Not this homeless man, anyway. There's a lot of things I want. A lot of it doesn't. A lot of it isn't touched on here, but it gets to it further into the book. This part of the book right here. It's about an experience a couple of years ago. I'm just going to read. I'm going to read the chapter "What This Homeless Man Wants." Part of it, anyway. And there's a preamble, as I call it, in the beginning. The preamble being, keep in mind this is all unedited. This some of it's grammatically incorrect. Just bear with me. I'm doing my best with what I've got. Okay. Anyway. It needs to be known that Sandra and my relationship are not the focal point of this book, and that Sandra is not the cold person she seems to be in the early stages of this book. In fact, it's quite the contrary. I would not likely be alive today if it weren't for her, the big heart that she has, and the care she gave me in the troubled times. In my troubled times, the rest of the book will show that Sandra and I are now best friends, that love each other very much, and the focal point of this book is the wants I had while homeless and how they're not aligned with the stereotypical views on what homeless people are and what they want. When the book is complete, I'm confident you will love Sandra almost as much as I do. Keep in mind a lot of this is dated, and somebody just walked in, so give me 1 second. Forgive me. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, anyway, remember this is dated, some of it. A lot of it's been edited and added to recently. Anyway, I'm going to pick up where I left off. This video, I'm going to do this in probably 2 or 3 parts. Anyway, it's mid-December 2009. I exist with no purpose other than overcoming the wrongdoings of 2 women that portrayed themselves in a way that made me adore, worship, and fall head over heels in love with them in my recent past. And to do the very hard physical labor that caused my physical disabilities more pain than existed previous to accepting the position that paid less than minimum wage but was worth much more. For a person I thought was a good man, providing for a family he loved and earning a living in order to live a life that he overcame in previous years, that in somewhat intimate conversation he touched on. but failed to elaborate on for his own reasons, I'm sure. I would wake in the dark early morning hours with tired, sick, and hungover eyes to start the truck that would get us to work and serve my one and only meaningful purpose in life, in order to afford the beer and cigarettes that would silence the longing in my heart to be somebody and the pain of realization that I was nobody. I'd come home from work with 18 tall cans of beer, an empty stomach, empty because the food would take funds away from the beer that quenched the pain that I realized every evening. I came home to my modest rented room in a shared home with two other practicing, functioning alcoholics. One of which, a war vet, a well-to-do man, so well-to-do in fact at his age of somewhere near 78 at this point, was making more than an extensive effort to please the woman that owned the house, which he maintained, paid bills for, collected rent from us two other tenants, as well as managed the house she owned next door, ruling with an iron fist but a kind heart. More so, he would tell stories of how he loved poor Nancy, the homeowner, and everything he does for her, and all he would do for her if he could, on top of being a reporter for our town's local paper. He even went as far as becoming a consultant for her in her scheme to be a top salesperson at a candle light selling Avon type thing. I'm just omitting the company name. Selling candles and candle paraphernalia. Every day I would come home, I was pestered by him saying, Nancy only needs so many more dollars in sales this month to make her level, and so much more to reach a new level. I need you to get on your friends to buy this stuff. Remember, you get to keep the commission, Jason. After his past few pleas, I had bought a couple items at a ridiculous price and sent them as gifts to a couple of my friends, thus leaving me more broke than I already was, but was assured a small commission check would come my way in order that, when it did, I would be able to afford a package of cigarettes and beer. However, in the days leading to this money coming to me, the name of the old man, the old man and I, I'm omitting things. The old man and I had a discussion about income tax and how he has not filed his in many years. But suddenly income tax worked to his convenience, and he told me that the commission he had initially mentioned would be far less than discussed, because he would have to pay at least 15% unemployment insurance, not paid by self-employed contract of his sort, 10% Canada Pension Plan payment, which he was already in receipt of and not required to pay, as well as 30 to 34% income tax from the said commission. This, not long after he said he hadn't filed taxes in many years and never planned to. Essentially, from these items I sold, I was bought a package of value brand cigarettes on days he was too drunk to get his own, so he sent me. Granted, there were numerous times when he would send me to the beer store and variety store for beer, cigarettes, and lottery tickets, and would offer to buy me a pack of smokes in return for doing this. I let it go as it was for poor Nancy, who happened to own the two rental homes side by side at outrageous rental rates, of which I resided in one. And in the midst of building a huge ranch in Alberta, of which I was able to see pictures of and be shown on webcam when they were on Skype while she was pestering the old man about increasing his sales in Party Light and nagging him to get more consultants to sign up in order that she moved to a higher level in the company. I often heard from my room her asking if I was doing anything to get her sales in the company. To get her sales and to push the new promotions on my Facebook. She also urged me to become a petty candle salesman and urge all my friends to order and become consultants. Consultant my ass. Salesman, you sell candles and a fucking magazine, and the higher up people make more money than the fools selling the products. Every day I had to hear sales pitch on what's new from this company and all the features and how much this would do for poor Nancy. I would humor him and skim through the catalog with him and smile and nod in the conversation that was driving me to rush to my room and hit my beer hard. I did buy a few more items for gifts for my mom, who never received them, as they're still in that house, and I had a few things mailed out to friends I wanted to give as gifts, but expected no commission or gratitude for doing it. Ironically, I received more pressure to sell more. I had to escape this. So each time I would take my respected seat at the desk which belonged to the homeowner of the empty yet furnished room that I vacantly inhabited. I quickly ignore yet appease the rumbling of my hungry stomach with a tall can of sweet fulfilling beer and turn a blind eye to my wasting weight in life and become a person that feels raw emotion as soon as Rob Thomas, Garth Brooks, Seven Mary 3, and Keith Urban start singing the soundtrack of my life as the tears painfully fill my empty yet longing eyes and my mind with memories of the times I overcame and the artist that is singing one of the that is... I don't know where it was. The artist that whatever was... Anyway, I'm going to pause now. Seeing the length that the video is already at, 10 minutes, a little over 10 minutes, I'm going to just read a little bit more, upload this, and then if you care to watch any more, you can watch the next one. I'm going to continue off at the artists. I'm going to pick up where the artists were. Rob Thomas, Garth Brooks, Seven Mary 3, and Keith Urban start singing the soundtrack of my life as the tears painfully fill my empty yet longing eyes and my mind with memories of the times I overcame and the artist that is singing... that overcame and what the artist is singing about at one point I overcame as well, which in turn gives me hope and confidence that I will overcome the painful times I find myself in now. I crack another tall, sweet can of beer and toast myself to better times ahead as a result of the shadowed hope I just blindly and ignorantly gave myself that in reality is only going to get me through the moment. I do this until all but one of the 18 tall cans of beer is gone. Suddenly it's 2 a.m. I am obscenely drunk and worried I will let my boss and neighbor down by sleeping in, thus letting he and the crew I proudly work for down and ruining a potentially successful workday. Quickly I set all 3 of my alarm clocks, each one a minute ahead of the other, in succession, so I'm sure to wake and be taken advantage of willingly. Having realized the late hour, I quickly stand and suddenly fall to the floor in inebriation. Eventually, I crawl to bed. I crawl to the bed I like to call my safe haven. Upon reaching my beautiful destination, I reach in the dark for my medication. Medication that will keep me sane and prevent me from having seizures, providing I don't mix it with alcohol, of course. I open the last of my 18 beers, mourning the fact that it's the last of the night, yet getting the rush from the sound it makes when I open the can. Hesitantly, I place the absurd amount of pills that in my mind would kill a small horse but keep me alive, into my mouth, and quickly down them with the entire tall can of sweet, sweet beer. I've worked a full, generous day for the less than gratifying wages and praise, made a mockery of myself to those that think they know me on Facebook as well as on the telephone, and in text messages, at a cost to no one aside from myself, and those that will eventually know what I go through, in order to be okay with the course I and my life have taken. It is time to say my prayers, praying for everyone I love, selflessly asking that they be blessed with what they need and give thanks for another good day, no matter how that day played out.